Trail's a bit grown in some spots. Has to put it lightly. First sip, cheers. This is not your leisurely stroll backpacking trail. That's for sure. Oh, ouch. Good morning, guys, and welcome back to another hike into the sunset adventure. Today, we're out in the great state of West Virginia. We're going to be heading into the Cranberry Wilderness / Cranberry Backcountry. Right now, we're parked at the north-south trailhead, which is just across the road over here. We're the only lonely car there, so we might get some pretty good solitude out here this week. This trip is going to be a 4-day hybrid backpacking / fly fishing adventure. I got all kinds of stuff in my pack. I'm loaded down pretty much at max capacity. Not planning to do any strenuous big miles. Max miles I think we're going to do out here today is about 8. I really want to relax some on this trip, take my time, enjoy everything there is to enjoy out here. Hopefully have some time to do some fly fishing. Ready to get hiking here. I think we probably have around 6 to 7 miles. We're going to head in here on this north-south trail, and we're going to fork off at the North Fork Trail. We're going to follow that down the entire way, and that should take us right to the Cranberry River. And that should be, from the research that I've done, where catch and release section begins and where the good fishing starts. And I'll explain some of that more, why that area is supposed to be where the good fly fishing starts. Has to do with the Department of Natural Resources and liming stations. But like I said, it's going to be about noon. I want to get in here on this trail, start knocking out some of these miles. We can get the camp nice early set up, and hopefully get a fishing line in the water tonight. That's kind of the goal here. So let's get on the trail here, see what we got in store. It's only about 100 or so yards in, and I already had to pull out the GPS to double check the trail. With it being a wilderness area here at the Cranberry Wilderness, none of the trails have blazes, and the only markings are at trail intersections. And some of them are pretty old, and I think non-existent at some of the intersections. So if you're coming to this area, you just need to be aware of that. Definitely make sure you have a good working GPS and have a map of the area with you too, in case you run into any problems. Right now it's the Tuesday after Labor Day. So this past week we just had the remnants of Hurricane Ida come through this area and drop large amounts of rain in some areas. So I'm expecting could be some wet trail conditions that we're going to have to deal with, possibly some blowdowns and stuff like that. So we'll just have to keep our eyes open and see what we run into while we're out here. On the way down here, I didn't really see much in the way of flooding. Everything looked pretty nice on the way down here. Trail doesn't look too bad right here, so hopefully it should be pretty nice. And this forest is already so nice in here. Everything's still very lush green. We got some pine forests going on. Really liking it. So nice to be back out in the woods again. It's also nice the way I planned this trip out. Really going for a more relaxation kind of trip. Really just want to enjoy the trail while I'm out here, and just trying to pay attention, because I do have to make one turn off here from the north-south trail onto the North Fork Trail to take me down to where I gotta go. So gotta keep my eyes open for that. But like I was saying, to plan out just a more relaxed trip, low on the miles. My pack weight is in the high 20s, like pushing 30 pounds, which is pretty unusual for me. It's kind of funny. So I'm not planning to go very far on any one given day. I got the Helinox Chair Zero. I finally broke down and got one. And I thought a trip like this, where I plan to be spending a lot of time around camp, I thought, well, now would be the perfect time to bring that thing out, do some camp relaxing. As for the itinerary on this trip, today we'll be taking the North Fork Trail down to where it meets up with the Forest Service Road 76. And we'll be looking to find camp anywhere right around there. From there, day 2, we're only going to move down the stream maybe 1.5 miles or 2 miles, set up camp, spend the day fishing. Day 3, we're going to head up into the heart of the wilderness, find a camp somewhere on the Middle Fork Trail, maybe around Hell for Certain Branch. And then on Friday, we'll make our way out, maybe 6 to 8 miles. I don't know the exact mileage. I just know that each day I'm not doing any more than would be 6 to 8 miles. I'm here at the junction of the North-South Trail and the North Fork Trail. There's a little sign here, pretty much to say North-South Trail and the scenic highway where we came from. Other than that, it doesn't say much. So like I said, when you come out here, make sure that you have your GPS and your map readily available so you don't get turned around in any of these intersections. So we're going to head up this way, and this should take us to the upper reaches of the Cranberry River. So far the trail's been decent, grown in some spots. Can definitely tell that no one's been on this trail today. I'm hitting spider webs constantly. Just had one on my camera. Trying to keep them off me, trying not to get bit by a spider. So we reached some muddy sections of trail here. Trail is pretty mucky through here when we just made a turn on a switchback back there. And it looked like there was another trail coming off of where it switches back. And I just had to double check with my GPS. Like I said, if you're coming out here, you absolutely want to make sure that you have your GPS and maps in order so that you don't have any issues. Big old frog over here. Issues. Where'd he go? Navigating through this wilderness area. Another one. Passing a few nice campsites now that we're down along this north fork of the Cranberry River. This one back here, little campsite. Looked like it would be good for tents. I don't really see much possibilities for hanging a hammock in there. We just have to come through here, heading up this steep side hill. I think this is still the trail. According to the GPS, it looks like it. It's definitely hitting some of the more difficult I should really be doing this with two hands. Oh shit. If this isn't the trail, I'm gonna be pretty pissed. Alright, I think we're good. I think there was a way around what I just did. But, yeah, I don't know. Looks like we're good now. Whew. Sure, I still got everything. We're about to cross over the north fork of the Cranberry River right now. Just fine, I'm gonna get my feet wet, wash off all the mud that we've been walking through. Definitely getting some of the backcountry experience here. It's fun. It's a nice challenge. This creek here is beautiful. So I followed what I thought was a trail to down along here along this riverbank, steep embankment up here. And I'm just hiking along. Not sure, don't think I'm supposed to be down here. But at this point, I'm committed. So I'm just gonna keep hiking along this bank of the river and see if hopefully I can get back up on top of this ledge up here where I think the trail's supposed to be at. So I came back across the creek here. See a little cairn here. Now I'm not sure if that cairn means I'm supposed to cross back over and the trail's over there, or the trail's down here. I'm just gonna have to scope around and see. I think part of this trail might have gotten washed out and they had to improvise. So we'll get it figured out here. Definitely getting the full wilderness experience. So GPS says the trail's supposed to be on the other side of this creek, so I'm gonna cross it again and hopefully find the trail over there and then be good. So luckily we crossed back over the creek, climbed up the steep little embankment there and was able to get back on the North Fork Trail. There's a little sign for it pointing up the hill, so not really sure what's going on there, but it's not a big deal anymore. As long as we got it figured out is all that matters. And we shouldn't have a terribly long distance to go now to get to where we want to try to find camp at the convergence of the north and south forks of the Cranberry River. This North Fork Trail has definitely had some obstacles to throw my way here today. Nothing that we aren't able to overcome though. And that's another reason why in this wilderness area I really didn't want to plan on too many miles in a day. For stuff like that where you run into those kind of obstacles, I don't want to have to stress about trying to get a lot of miles in while dealing with stuff like that. This behind me here, the Cranberry River Neutralization Station, I believe this is where they dump lime into the North Fork, and that flows down into the main fork of the Cranberry River, which makes it more habitable for the trout. I believe there's major acid problems in this river that made it not very good for the trout to live in. And so they built this liming station, started putting it in here. I believe they also put it up in the middle fork, and that makes the water a lot better for the trout to live in. Pretty cool. Couple bikes sitting back here. I saw like two fishermen, maybe like a mile and a half up there fishing. Probably them. So right now we're exiting the Cranberry Wilderness area, and we're in what's called the Cranberry Backcountry, and you're allowed to ride bicycles all up and down this Forest Service Road 76, and that's a way that a lot of people that are fishing and camping utilize to get back to campsites. Man, I need some water. I got a scratchy throat. Quite the setup down here. Awesome shelter. Really nice. And that was the North Fork shelter behind me. Really nice shelter. Looks really new too. For me, I'm just gonna walk down this road slash trail for just a little bit, see where it comes back into contact with the main branch of the river and find a nice campsite. Right here it says special regs, next 4.3 miles, catch and release. Nice. Just ended up coming down just a little ways, and just like I suspected, found a nice campsite here. The road slash trail's right over there, but I really don't expect too many people down here through tonight and tomorrow. It's a nice area, got some good trees, so I'm gonna find a spot where I can put my hammock up, and I'll get back with you guys. Well guys, I went out for maybe about 45 minutes here, tried to fish. Wasn't able to catch anything. But I've been up since 3:30 this morning, drove 6 hours, made that 7-8 mile hike. I'm feeling kind of tired. The sun's already kind of starting to go down, if you can see back here. And I still got some stuff to do around camp here. I want to get done before it starts getting dark. Still got to cook. Want to get this fire going, let my feet dry out. Getting a little chilled from walking in the water. Water's pretty cold. But so I got some wood I got going over here. I got a small fire trying to go here. Seems like it's wanting to go out. Got my chili beef with mac here. I got some Fritos I'm gonna put in that. So I'm gonna eat my food. Sit here, watch the fire a little bit. Hit the hammock and I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, guys. It's about 7:45, day 2. Slept in a bit till maybe 7, just been moseying around. But now it's time to get some coffee going. Start this water boiling, and I'll show you. I brought the AeroPress, and I brought some good coffee along too. I got some fresh coffee here that I roasted and ground 2 days ago. If you guys could smell this, oh my gosh, it smells so good. I'm gonna put some of this into the AeroPress. Gonna do this inverted method. Not being too scientific about the amount right now. Maybe one more scoop. Maybe a little more. So I got my coffee, got the plunger in the bottom, coffee in the top. This is the inverted method. Works better out here since I only have one pot. All right, it's been about 5-6 minutes. I'm just gonna put my top on with the filter. Screw that on there. Now we just flip this over all together onto our pot and then plunge it through. All right, first sip, cheers. Oh yeah, that's good. That hits the spot out here. I do have to say, guys, it's about 8:45 right now. I haven't even began packing up camp. It's pretty nice, I gotta say. You know, it's something different. I don't think I've ever not broken down camp by the latest 8 o'clock. Usually I'm out of camp no later than 7, sometimes before in the 6 o'clock hour. But this is something different. This is something nice. I think that's what it's all about out here. You gotta switch it up sometimes, do some different stuff, keep it fun. Definitely, if you haven't done a laid back trip like this, give it a try. This is still only the second day. You know, most of my trips we're doing bigger miles because we're trying to fit a certain trail in a certain amount of time that we have to do it. So we have to hike bigger miles, but this has been really nice just sitting around camp. Drank my coffee, that was delicious. Can't wait to drink some more of that. So I'm gonna start working on getting camp packed up here. And then we're gonna head, I got the map here. Gonna head downstream to around the Tumbling Rock Shelter area. Somewhere between Tumbling Rock Run Trail and Birch Log Run Trail. We're gonna find a spot to set up camp. And that's probably no more than like 1.5 to 2 miles. Find a nice spot there and get camp all set up and then hopefully do some fishing. We're all packed up now. It's like 10:30. Took my time, had a good morning at camp. All packed up, back on the trail here. We are gonna head down this trail. Like I said, we really don't have far to go today, so we can take our time. Should probably be in camp by like no later than noon. Find a really nice spot to get set up, get camp all situated, and hopefully have some time to do some fishing. try to find some nice holes and hopefully catch a fish. So I came upon this nice shelter back here. Super nice. This whole area is nice. Open. Got some gray clouds over here. Not sure what's going on with that. Man, this is pretty tempting to stay here for the night. One problem would be trees to set up my hammock, because I'm not sure that I would want to set it up inside here. Never tried to do that before. It's also a privy over there. I might have to use that. Really nice. I think I'm gonna keep heading down the trail a little bit. See what it looks like a little further down. I hiked a little way up into the bottom of the Birch Log Trail, which is the trail that we're gonna need to take tomorrow. I had read that there was a campsite somewhere near the bottom of it. Didn't see anything. Didn't want to go too far up, get too far away from the river. So what I'm doing now is just continuing down the road a little ways here. The next shelter should be the house log shelter. Shouldn't be too far away. So I think I'm just going to continue down there. Hopefully camp at or around that shelter, or find a nice spot somewhere around there. And then we'll just double back. Hopefully it's not that far tomorrow. Came down here, checked out the house log shelter. Wasn't really feeling the area. I just think, since it's still early and it's not that far away, I'm just gonna backtrack, probably back towards that first shelter that we saw. I just think that'll be a much more enjoyable area to hang out for the night. And then that's still really close to the trail that we'll end up having to take tomorrow. So no big deal. It's a beautiful day out here. So I'm just gonna get to hiking real quick, make my way back up to that other shelter. I think I saw a couple trees where I could fit my hammock in, get set up for the night, and then have some time to explore. I seen some what looked like nice holes as I was walking down through here to possibly fish, so we'll see what happens. You just never know sometimes out here. You can make a plan. Sometimes, a lot of times, you know, you'll stick to generally your plans, but sometimes you also gotta wing it. And there's things you just can't know until you get out here and see for yourself. Saw some fresh looking bear scat back there. So let's make sure to be careful with our food tonight, hang it. Especially if we're going away from our food bag and pack for a while fishing. Gotta remember to put it up so no animals or bears can get to it. Ended up back here at this awesome shelter. I was moseying around a little, walked up to the other trail just because I didn't see it when I was first down here. But I found a couple trees a little ways back here. I think should work. I'm gonna go ahead and get set up. We'll stay here for the night. This is gonna be awesome in the evening time. Got the river right here. Bench to sit on. A couple picnic tables, a nice shelter. Privy over there. This shelter is like brand new. Got my camp situated back here. Nice little spot back in the trees. Got the hammock up, tarp up, all that stuff. Oh, I got a huge piece of sap on my hand here. It's like 12:45, so got that situated. Definitely ready to get out here and do some fishing. Alrighty, we got the fly rod here. Got that rigged up. Going on 2 o'clock, so I'm ready to get out here on the water, do a little fishing, see what happens. I don't have any high expectations. It'll be fun either way. Oh my God. What is it? Is it a freaking chub? Great chub. Took the nymph. Come on, dude. Get back in there. This is another chub. Chubs are hungry today. Oh, come on, man. Another chub. Oh my God. Big old chub. Well, guys, I don't know if it's meant to be for me today for the trout. Alright, I need to boogie back up home. Let's get going, man. It's gonna rain or something. Oh, ouch. I knew that was gonna happen sooner or later. Started trying to rush because I see dark clouds on the horizon, but you know, I didn't get hurt. That's the most important thing. This goes to show, you know, as soon as you start rushing, stuff happens sometimes. The sky started clouding up, felt some breeze, and I felt the temperature drop a little bit. And I've been walking in this water all day, so just gonna get across here, get back to camp, and we'll have a nice relaxing night at camp. Maybe I can get across here. Okay. Well, I literally just lit my fire and it started raining. So, I don't know. Well, guys, the rain's been coming down pretty steady now. It's starting to get dark. It's only like 7:23. My fire's still going pretty nice over here. I was hoping the rain would stop so I could enjoy that tonight, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. So I got some chicken teriyaki I started eating over here. Probably get my gear together and hit the hammock early tonight. I guess I don't really have much choice. It's going to keep raining. So I'm going to eat, hang out here for a little bit, and I'll catch you guys in the morning. Good morning, guys. It's about 7:30 right now. It finally stopped raining. It rained pretty much all night, and it heavily downpoured for a good portion of the night. It actually started thunderstorming, some pretty close flashes of lightning and loud thunder. And I don't know if you can see behind me here, the river's flooding pretty well. Maybe not flooding, but pretty high, moving pretty good. The last forecast that I pulled down driving down here didn't really have any rain in the forecast, so. But you gotta expect that kind of stuff. Never 100% go off the forecast when you're coming out the backpack, because literally anything could happen at any time. It is 9:30 right now. Finished getting everything packed up. Had a nice breakfast, nice coffee. And like I was saying earlier, with all that rain that came through last night, torrential heavy rain for at least half the night, if not all night. And as you can see, the water levels are pretty high back here on this Cranberry River. You know, it would be impossible to cross something like this. So if I were to continue the trip as I originally thought I was going to do, head down a little further here to forget what the trail's name is, take that up to the north-south over to the Laurelly branch and then to the Middle Fork. I know there's multiple river creek crossings on that Middle Fork / Laurel Branch trail. And you know, if it's anything like this, it's not worth taking that risk. I don't want to get out there and not be able to cross that or have to try to do something unsafe. It's really not worth it. I had 2 nights out here. That's fine by me. You know, this place isn't going anywhere. I can always come back down here. I definitely would like to come back down here, you know, try and catch that trout that eluded me this time. But either way, it's no big deal. We're gonna head right up here and catch this trail, and we'll get started trying to hike out of here. I'm sure we're gonna be experiencing some quite muddy trail conditions with all the rain that came through last night, so let's get this thing started. We have a placard behind us here signifying that we're going to be entering back into the Cranberry Wilderness. We're going to be on the Tumbling Rock Trail. It says here 2.5 miles. Let's see here. Horse use discouraged because of steep side slopes, fragile soils, and trail drainage problems. Water generally available on Tumbling Rock Trail. So we'll see what that entails for us here. It says 2.5 miles to where we will meet up with the north-south trail here and hopefully hike back up out of here to the trailhead. I've been really enjoying this trail so far. Really pretty, really lush and green. Like everything down here is so green with the sun shining through. Really kind of reminds you of like a rainforest or something you would see maybe in the Pacific Northwest. I've heard other people compare it to that, and I could definitely see why. Very unique area out here. Definitely feels remote, feels wild. Really cool stuff. We made it up now to the junction with the north-south trail. Little sign signifying that here. So going down this way would take you further into the wilderness. For today, we're gonna go ahead and head up this way, and this should take us back up to the trailhead where the car's parked at. Not sure on the mileage. If I had to guess, I'd maybe say 5 to 6 miles, something in that range. Hopefully not too much more than that. So yeah, we'll get hiking here. Trail conditions, definitely been sloppy, sloppy and muddy. Looks like we're dealing with it's a trail up here, pretty grown in, so I'll put the camera away for a little while and try to make some progress on this trail. Trail's a bit grown in some spots. Has to put it lightly. Hopefully we're nearing being up on the top of the plateau here, and maybe it'll open up some. I was trying to avoid the north-south trail on this trip because I've heard people say that it can be quite overgrown. But the way things worked out, here we are. A nice campsite right in here. Dry campsite. But man, guys, I haven't been filming much, but I can assure you that this north-south trail has been pretty brutal, like bushwhacky. Just encroached all around you. Like we're about to head through some here. And this is what we're dealing with. It's tough sledding here on this north-south trail. Hoping that it would open up some here once we reach the plateau. Now it looks like we're heading back downhill some. So I've been kind of pushing through this, slow going, waiting hopefully for this trail to open up some. This trail is not for the faint of heart, guys. It is. I've kept waiting for this trail to open up some. It just never has. It's been dense and overgrown the entire way. I think I would definitely recommend pants if you're coming on this trail. My legs are getting pretty scraped up. I don't know what any of the other trails are like out here in the Cranberry Wilderness. We're just getting a small sampling right now, but this north-south trail, it's definitely giving us all we can handle right now. This is not your leisurely stroll backpacking trail. That's for sure. It's kind of a little surprising to me because this north-south trail bisects the entire wilderness. It's the main trail going from top to bottom. So I would think that this trail would see, a decent amount of traffic from people making their different loops, trying to get down into the wilderness. But that just doesn't seem to be the case. Or it could just be that, this whole Cranberry Wilderness area just doesn't see that much foot traffic in general. The backcountry area where we were at for the past 2 days might be where most people hang out at. That North Fork trail that we were on the first day was tough, but it was nothing like this. This is on a whole nother level. If the other trails are more like the North Fork branch, that wouldn't be so bad. Or if they were like the first trail that we came up today, that trail was awesome. It wasn't all grown in. Looked really nice sights all around. We're slowly coming up here on the end of this trail. We don't have too much longer to go. But man, this trail has been a brute. It's really been beating me up pretty good here. It's already 1:30. We started hiking at 9:30. Really, like I said, I'm really not sure on the total mileage, but man, this trail's been a beast. It has not been easy. Lots of, ankle deep mud. The whole trail just pressing in around you. Been tough. Definitely one of the tougher trails I've hiked, that's for sure. So we're just grinding this out here, trying to successfully make it back to the trailhead. There's the junction that we came across on the first day. We headed down that way on the North Fork Trail. We just came from down that way on the North-South Trail. So we're just gonna head on back up this way. We should almost be back to the trailhead and back to the car. And I can't complain about that today. That North-South Trail is a tough trail as I almost walk in the 50th spider web of the day. I'm gonna try to avoid that one. All right, guys. So we finally made it up out of the Cranberry Wilderness. As you can see, I was able to get into some dry change of clothes, airing some of my gear out here, getting stuff packed up to get ready to hit the road here. Pretty far from home still, and it's after 2 o'clock now. But overall, I definitely enjoyed this trip. If I came back down here again, I think I would do things a little bit differently. I think I would either go for a full-on fishing trip and just only stick to down in the Cranberry backcountry along that Forest Service Road 76 that I think is 16 miles or something all along the river. I think if I was going to just fish, I would stay down there. Plenty good camping, easy hiking. You could bring a heavy load out and just relax down there and fish. And if I was going to come down here to do purely backpacking, I would definitely come with a lighter loadout. And North-South Trail, avoid that trail at all costs, really, honestly, if you can. I know that it's hard to make most of your good loops without going on that North-South Trail, but you'll have to look at the map, and there might be some ways around it. If you do have to go on it, make sure that you're prepared for what it's going to be, because it is going to be most likely wet, rough, and the trail closing in around you for miles and miles. It was definitely very difficult hiking up out of that trail today. But, the Cranberry Wilderness is a remote area. I didn't see any other people hiking or doing anything while I was down there. I definitely would like to explore some more of the wilderness trails, but that'll be for another time. So overall, it was a good experience down here in West Virginia in the Cranberry Backcountry / Wilderness. Wasn't able to catch a trout. I think I'll have to come back down here and avenge that at some point. But guys, I got to get heading out here. It's 6 hours minimum for me to get back home. If I even do get home tonight, I might just hit up a hotel somewhere. So until next time, get out and explore.